packing the chips. Hey guys, welcome back to the trail. So it's been a while since I've posted a video. Things have been very busy lately, both with work and personal stuff. Nothing major, nothing wrong anyway, just been busy, especially with school being out. Got to take care of the goblin on the days that she's not going to some sort of summer camp. So haven't been able to get out in the field, but you guys get to share a very special treat with me. This is Father's Day weekend, and the rest of my family has gone to Disney. I hate Disney. I hate the crowds, I hate the parks. I'm not really a big fan of everything they stand for. So they left me here unaccompanied. So I decided I'm gonna go out and do my very first solo overnight camping trip. Now, I've done plenty of camping trips with friends and buddies and gone with the goblin, but I've never gone by myself. So this is going to be interesting. I've always been honestly just been too afraid to get out here in the woods by myself. But lately, I don't know, the closer I get to 40, which is just a few months away, I just don't care anymore. You know, if something's going to happen, let it happen. I'm as prepared as I can be for it, and we'll just go from there with it, you know. So really, I think the only thing I'm gonna have to worry about out here, some heavy mud, because it's been raining for about a week now, and snakes, because, you know, Florida and snakes, always snakes. I would say alligators, but where I'm gonna be camping is not gonna be close enough to water to really have to worry about them. So anyway, I am at Little Manatee River State Park. I've been here before, got plenty of videos on my channel about it, and I'm gonna be staying out at the primitive campsite. Got about a 2.5 mile hike in. I got here at the park at 7. It is now 7:08, and I have just under an hour and a half of light before the sun goes down at 8:27. So I'm going to put feet to trail and get going. I will catch up with you guys in just a little bit though. All right, so we have made it to Cypress Creek, which is about the halfway point, give or take, maybe a little bit more than halfway. Anyway, I brought my 2-liter water bladder. I'm gonna fill that up because I knew there'd be plenty of water, and then I am gonna get back on the trail. So, see if I can do this. All right, well, water collection successful, and I got about 45 minutes to do a mile to get to where the camp is. So let's get to it. I don't want to be in the complete darkness. Plus, there's the Tampa Bay Lightning, New York Islanders semifinal 4th round game tonight at 8, and I'm hoping to pick it up on my cell phone and be able to listen to that. So go Bolts. We made it to the side trail for the primitive camp. It is 0.2 miles. We're gonna head this way though, get to the primitive camp, get set up, listen to some hockey, and get ready for the night. Whew. A little wet. Ooh. A little hot, a little humid. But we're here. Now we're hour and 13 minutes. Stop for water. A couple little stops for filming. We're here. Seems a lot more open than the last time I was here, which isn't a bad thing. There's a picnic table right over here. Nice big open view of the sky. It'll be pretty tonight. You can't, don't know if you can hear it, I don't know if it's picking up, but there is just a little bit of a breeze, so it's not bad at all. Anyway, I'm gonna get packed, I'm gonna get set up, and we'll get to it. Hey guys, well, it's 10 to 9. I just got finished setting up, and I'm sitting here enjoying all these sounds of nature, with the occasional loudspeaker and thumping bass because there's a neighborhood just over there. But right now it's not bad, and there are tons of bats out here cleaning up this area from all the mosquitoes. There's got to be at least 10 or 12 bats out here just going crazy. So that's awesome. I'm enjoying it. Anyway, I've got some Cheetos jalapeno flavored mac and cheese. It's a little cup. I got that for dinner, along with a packet of chicken breast that I'm gonna drain and mix in with it, and then 2 pieces of bread, and I'm just gonna dump it into the bread and eat it. I'm really upset because I had actually a small leftover piece of cake my wife and daughter left me, and I'd put it in the freezer so that by the time I got out here it would defrost and I could have it for my dessert. But unfortunately I left it in the freezer. I guess it'll be breakfast when I get home. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy these noises and then start a fire. Since this is good, we're gonna move the camera real quick. I'm gonna tell you guys a couple of stories. So I have a couple of stories I want to tell you guys. The first one is a stupid funny story, but it's worth mentioning. So a few years back, I had a bunch of buddies. I think it was like 5 or 6 of us all got together. We went to Colt Creek State Park and we stayed down at the Boot and Saddle, Horse Saddle, the big open campsite that's only a mile from parking. And we decided to have a big kind of guys' night, you know, had some alcohol, had a really good time. Well, everyone else decided to go to sleep except for me and my buddy Mitch. I'm notorious for staying up till the wee hours of the morning because I just can't sleep. And while we're sitting there, we're talking, and the one thing that's always happened to me at Colt Creek that I've always found really weird is from miles and miles away, at least it sounds miles and miles away, I will sometimes hear like a loud thumping noise, like what you would hear at like a mine or like a quarry or something, just heavy machinery operating. And I don't know where it's coming from, but I've heard it nearly every time I've gone out to Colt Creek. Not a big deal. That's not what's creepy. But as we're sitting there, Mitch and I, sitting there enjoying the fire, it's dark, everyone else is asleep, we hear the noise. And I was like, dude, did you hear that? He's like, yeah, I heard it. Like, finally, someone else heard that, and I don't sound like a nut job. And we talked about what it might be. And as we're sitting there, we realize off in the woods, we can see a light in the woods, and it looks like a flashlight almost, and it's getting closer. We're like, that's weird. There's no trail that direction. Nobody should be coming that way. So we're a little weird, but we're like, okay, you know, just somebody walking the trail or walking in the woods randomly. All right, reset. Sorry about that. So we, you know, we're sitting there watching this light, whatever it is, get closer and closer, and it starts getting brighter. We're like, whoa, what is that? Like, who is that? And we're sitting there, we're both talking. Like, I get up, I grab my knife, I'm holding on to it. I'm like, this is just really freaking both of us out. And about the time that we're both like thinking, should we wake everyone else up? Like, there's this huge light coming through the woods at us. It comes through a break in the trees, and we realize it's the full moon. And I've heard of this happening to other campers, and I'd actually watched a video by Homemade Wanderlust, Dixie, on YouTube about it, and I laughed at her. But then it happened to me. And as soon as I realized it's the moon, and we both started laughing, you know, and joking and giving each other grief because, you know, we're thinking, oh my God, what is it? You know, who is this coming through the light, or coming through the woods with this huge light? It just, you know, put us both on edge until we realized what it was. And then, you know, we laughed and drank another beer and ended up going to bed shortly thereafter. So that's my first kind of like funny, weird, creepy story that happened, you know, getting the moon coming after us and freaking us out. My second weird story happened, I was still in high school, and I had gone camping with a buddy of mine named Dave, his girlfriend at the time, one of her girlfriends, and then another female coworker of ours at, I think it was Blackwater Creek or Black River Creek, Black River, I don't know, Blackwater River State Park or something, I'm not sure. I know it's up in the Panhandle. And we hiked, and we ended up getting on the horse path instead of the hiking path, which was longer, and we were miserable. We ended up hiking miles and miles out of our way. But we finally made it to camp. We actually stayed there 2 nights, had a blast. We built a lean-to, had it over the fire. I mean, it was, or not over the fire, but we had it, you know, so that it was the heat was reflecting off the lean-to onto us and our sleeping bags. We had an absolute blast. But one of the nights we were there, Dave and I decided to go walking in the woods in the middle of the night with, you know, just our headlamps, and we ended up turning those off because it was almost a full moon. And as we're walking, we get to a part of the woods, and all the noise stops. Like, all of it. There's no crickets, no wind blowing, nothing. We didn't hear any animals, we didn't see anything, you know, and it really creeped us out, because I'm grown up in the Florida woods, and I've never not heard noise. I mean, sure, you can hear all the crickets and bugs and stuff here around me right now. So to be out in the woods in the middle of the night and not hear a thing, it was a little weird and creepy. I think at the time, because I was a teenager, it didn't bother me as much, but now that I'm older, in retrospect, like, it creeps me out, because the woods aren't supposed to do that. It's not supposed to just get dead quiet, unless there's like a predator or something going on. And I know there are black bears in Florida, but I don't feel like there was a black bear. Maybe a panther, but again, I don't feel like all the noise would have stopped. So it was that was a little weird for us. That's my second weird story. My favorite campsite of all time is campsite number 1 at the Rock Bluffs at Torreya State Park. I've been there camping more times than I've been anywhere else, and I love that campsite. Years ago, probably 5 years ago, I went with Sean, my buddy who often goes with me to Torreya and other places. We went, and we were camped out at that campsite. And I believe further down the hill at campsite 3, there was a family, 2 adults and I believe 2 kids, and maybe 1 other couple all the way down at the far campsite closer to the water. Now the thing about those campsites is they're actually up on a bluff. Ooh, fire's making some noise. They're up on a bluff, and so
10, 15 yards from your campsite, there's a hill that goes all the way down to the water. And it's probably 30 or 40 feet, and it's a very steep incline. Like, you can climb up it, I'm sure, but it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of work, because it's not vertical, but I'd say it's probably 65, 70 degrees. It's good and steep. I remember we'd woken up, or we were getting ready for bed or something. I know it was late, and we had gotten up and we were using the restroom, getting ready to go back to bed. And we decided to go and stand and look out at the water, because you could just kind of see the river through the trees, and you get to hear boats and you can see the lights. And excuse me, we're standing there, and we can kind of hear the family, or hear them getting ready for bed, or see their lights or something. But then all of a sudden, out down at the edge of the bluffs, we hear something walking in the water. Now, I've only ever seen the bluffs a couple of times from other vantage points. There's a place you can walk down and look over from the water to get water at the river. And even though they go down the hill, once they get to the hill, it's almost like limestone and then the river. And it's got to be really deep there. But we could hear something walking in the water. And so we thought maybe it was a deer, or, maybe one of the family members or someone further down had decided to walk along the shoreline and didn't realize what they were getting into, and we're just trying to find a way to get back up. But as we're standing there, we start shining our lights down. We don't see any headlamps or lights or anything. And then all of a sudden, the movement stops, the noise stops. We're like, oh, that's weird. So we're standing there and we're looking. We've got our flashlight, my headlamps, and we're looking. And then we hear something come through the trees, through the branches above us, and then land on the ground in front of us. Was it a rock? Was it an acorn? Not an acorn, but like a pine cone or whatever. We don't know. We couldn't actually find what it was. But we were just like, well, that's weird. I mean, stuff falls in the woods all the time. It's not a big deal. Especially at Torreya, because it's right there on the bluffs. There's a lot of wind. So we didn't think anything of it. We ended up just turning our lights off and going back to bed. And when I thought about it later, I realized, did somebody or something down at the water throw a rock up to get us to turn our lights off? So I don't know. It was just really, really weird. So those are three weird, one of them silly, stupid stories. But two of them, I don't know. They weirded me out after the fact. When they were happening, not as much. But later, I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Little. So, I don't know. Have you had any weird things happen to you in the woods, or stuff that scared you? I've got a couple more, just funny stuff that have scared me or freaked me out that turned out to be animals. But I'll save those for another time. So, I don't know. If you have any fun stories, leave a brief comment below, or send me an email. I'd love to hear any of your stories about being out in the woods and having odd or weird things happen to you. I love that stuff. Creepy and spooky, and I'm not saying anything supernatural or weird or cryptids or anything like that, but there's weird stuff out there. So anyway, leave a comment, shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let the fire burn for a little bit longer. Make sure it's down to a good size, and then I'm going to bed. So I have some lovely mariachi music playing right now. There's an outdoor learning or cultural learning center a couple miles away, and I'm pretty sure that's where the music is coming from. But anyway, that'll make a nice lullaby for the evening. So well,
It is 4:30, and I am wide awake. So, figure, well, get up, get my coffee going, get my oatmeal going, and go ahead and hit the trail. Maybe do a little night hiking to get home. I slept very, very well. I had the fire going. I'm sitting here watching it from the tent, and then I had my audiobook I was listening to, Dune by Frank Herbert, and I'll probably have to go back and rewind because I fell asleep and I woke up at a completely different part of the book. So, but yeah, so it's Father's Day, and I have some cards here that my wife and daughter left me that I was not allowed to open until Father's Day. So let's check them out. Alright, so I got the first one from my daughter. Excuse me. Happy Father's Day. P.S. Don't open until Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Love, Alora. Happy Father's Day. It is a tent. So, a little 3D paper heart, and then she drew a tent over here for me because she knew I was going camping. Alright. And then for my wife, what do we have? Oh, she got me a serious card. Normally I get a fun one. So this is a serious one, so I'm not going to read it out loud, but thank you, baby. Good morning, all. Well, it is 6:24. The sun behind me starting to come up, and I took my time getting camp broken down this morning. Didn't really feel like I needed to rush, so I ate my oatmeal, drank my coffee, broke everything down, which you can see behind me. Camp's been completely disassembled, and I got a little bit of water left, enough to get me to the car. Like I said, it's 2.5 miles. I'm gonna track it through all trails this time because I forgot to do it before I left the car. So we'll see exactly how long it is, and we would get my pacing and everything. So it is a nice morning, but it is already starting to heat up. Humidity finally started coming back in about 30-40 minutes ago, and it's gonna be toasty. So I'm glad I'm getting out of here before the full sun gets up. So, enough jibba jabba. Let's get the trail. It's just after 7. I have a little less than a mile to get back to the parking area. And it is nice and cloudy. So the sun has not come out to ruin my day yet. Lots and lots and lots spider webs across the trail. It's so early that no one else has gotten out here to break them for me, so I guess it's up to me, the trail breaker. Well, we made it. The end of the trail after being done. My first overnighter. Stupid, uneventful, but nice. All right, guys, well, a little loud because of the traffic nearby. This is Highway 301. If you're familiar with it, can be a lot of traffic even way out here. Anyway, I made it. It is 7:46. Let's see what the trail thing said. 2.7 miles, average speed 2.2, time 1 hour 10 minutes. That included a lot of back and forth, setting up the camera, picking it up, and going back and forth. So yeah, not bad considering I got a heavy pack on me. And yeah, we're gonna keep going, head on home. Really appreciate you guys joining me on this trip. Like I said, this is my first solo overnighter, and testing out a lot of new equipment, including a new camera. I got a DJI Osmo Action Cam. Thank you to my benefactors. You know who you are, M and K. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Can't wait to see you soon. I'm gonna get loaded up, head home, let my girls out, my two dogs, let them out, and get a little bit more breakfast and a lot more coffee. So until I see you on the trail again, guys, I'm Trailbreaker. I'm out.